Okay, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever it is you're joining us from. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Living LTV Live with me, Gbenga Adebayo, and we are reaching you all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, as we come to you to answer all your pressing health questions. My name is Gbenga Adebayo, like I said, and this is Living LTV Live. If this is the very first time of joining us, we are usually every Friday, 3 p.m. West African time. So you are welcome to join us. If you have not subscribed to this channel, like Area will say now, rating you gain, I beg now. Make you hit that subscribe button. Please hit that subscribe button and subscribe to and make sure you don't forget to also hit the notification bell so that every time we put up fresh, engaging, exciting content, you are the very first to know. I say a big shout out to all our regulars who are here watching, following along. Thank you so much. You make it worth my while spending my Fridays with you, sharing. And as we usually do, I'd just like you to please take some time now to just share this and let someone know that we are live, right? Let people know that we are live. I'm not going to put it on my status. I just say we are live, right? And we are live. Great, join us. All right, let's just put the link there. Okay. Okay. Trying to get the link. Great, and that is up there. So thank you, everyone. If you're joining us, please, and you're following, please just let's know where you are. This is your very first time. This is your first time. Let's know in the chat box. This is my first time at what I enjoy. And so today we are taking an Ask Anything. So you can it's an EMA where so you can ask anything. We asked a few questions that we have banked and we will be answering them. But you can put your question at any time in the comment section there, and we'll be happy to take those questions as we go along the way. So let's have the very first question. Let my colleague just put the very first question there in the chat box. Okay, is diabetes genetic? Okay, interesting question. As with many conditions, there is often a genetic component. Yeah, so we have, of course, if you have watched this, if you are a regular on our channel, we have lots of content on diabetes mellitus, and then you can check it not just on our YouTube channel, across all our social media channels. That's our Instagram account. Our Instagram account is at LivinghealthNG, LivinghealthNG. Our Facebook page, LivinghealthNG, and our Twitter account also happens to be LivinghealthNG. So if you go around, if you just shop around there, you see some of the content that we have put around on diabetes. So diabetes mellitus, which is what I assume that this person is asking about, because there are two types of diabetes. There is what we call diabetes insipidus, and there's diabetes mellitus. But of course, diabetes mellitus is what I assume this person, because that's the more common condition that people are worried about. It seems I'm getting a notification that my connection is unstable. Let's change to another network. Hopefully this will not give us issues today. I really hope not. I've been looking forward to this AMA, and I'm sure I look forward to having a great time with us. Okay, our connection will be better this time going forward. Okay, so the question is diabetes genetic? So like I was saying, for many conditions, health conditions, especially the long-standing chronic, what we call chronic conditions, there's often a genetic component to it. Diabetes, two types of diabetes mellitus. So we have the essential diabetes that somebody has, uh, right? That you are not producing enough insulin. And then you have the other type where there's somebody, we used to call it, people that are younger, we used to say it was juvenile onset diabetes, but of course we now know that. So 5 signs of diabetes, everybody should, so you can check that out. We have some things there that we've spoken about diabetes. But what's important is that there is a genetic component. We know that there is the genetic component. So type 2 diabetes. So somebody that type 1 and type 2. Somebody that type 2 is the one that occurs often in older people. While type 1, we see it now in adults, because that's what a study came out earlier this week that said to us that although we used to call it juvenile onset type 1, that is for young people, but the vast majority of people that actually have type 1 diabetes are older people. That's where the people that they must take insulin. They just have to take insulin because their body is not either producing that, they don't have insulin at all. Their body is not just responsive at all to it. So that person needs exogenous, needs external insulin to help them. But for type 2, the body is producing some insulin, but the body is not responding adequately to it. So especially for type 2 diabetes, there is a strong genetic component. So if your father, your mother, a close relative has got diabetes, the chances are that you may also have it. Doesn't mean that if your father, mother has diabetes, that you also compulsorily must have diabetes. No, 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 no. So that's why we say there's a genetic component, and then there is an environmental component. So lifestyle, how you eat, how you take care of yourself, you know, physical activity, right? The weight management, and all those things, they are also important in diabetes management. So for almost all diseases that have a genetic component, they may also be an environmental component. So we have what we call the 2-eat theory, the 2-eat theory. That, okay, there is a genetic susceptibility to that illness. Then something now also triggers. So there's an environmental trigger, a lifestyle trigger that now put on that genetic susceptibility, and so the person now gets to manifest the disease. So there is a genetic component, but we'll say that once you have that genetic component, that means you certainly will have diabetes. I hope I've answered that question. So let's move on. Next question. And if you still have clarifications, please at any time just drop it in the chat box, and I will go back to answer your question. Okay. Next question. I've been exercising but haven't lost any weight. What could be the problem? Okay, okay, interesting. So the question of weight and weight management, it's not. There are many reasons why somebody may put on weight. Of course, the ultimate explanation is calorie imbalance. So you are taking in more than you are using, right? You are taking in on a long-term basis, you are taking in more calories than your body is expending. So that deficit, that surplus, so to speak, that deficit in expenditure and that surplus in in income, if you can use that word, is now translated, changed to fat, body mass, and then the person puts on weight. So if somebody has been exercising and has not been losing weight, that means that uh, the income, what you are getting in, the inflow, is not is more than what you are expecting. So we need to ask. So I will suggest that that person should go see uh, a fitness manager or a dietitian to also take a look at what you are eating. So beyond what you are using, beyond your exercise, beyond the rate at which you're exercising, we will also need to take a look at how you are, what you are doing, how you are eating. Because if you are, all you are doing is just eating, and you say you're exercising, but you are not exercising commensurate to what you have eaten, then it is likely that you will not lose the kind of weight, you will not see the kind of weight gain that you are looking for. So it may also be that the time frame that you are trying to get results is too short for it to show. It's much easier to put on weight than to get to lose it. So I'll need to ask, what's the time frame that you have been doing this? What kind of exercise are you also doing, right? Are you doing the kind of exercise that will help you lose weight? Because if somebody has been walking, well, we know that walking, if you are walking and you are not walking briskly, right? So you say you're exercising because you are walking about, you are walking leisurely, you are just flangering and moving slowly and saying, oh, I'm exercising, I'm walking up and down. Your energy expenditure is going to be quite low, and it will not give you the kind of results that you want, right? So those are the questions that we'll need to take a look at. We're to say, okay, this your exercise regimen is not successful, right? Okay. But in any case, even if you're not losing weight and you're exercising, you're still getting benefit. You're getting cardiovascular benefits, right? You're getting some additional benefit because exercising is fantastic. It helps you sugar management, mood management, because you really weight loss is not the only benefit of exercising, right? It helps your mood, it helps your health, all round health, helps your cardiovascular health. So exercise is fantastic. Great. So let's have the next question. And if you have any question, please don't forget to like this video. If you just joined us, please click the like button and like. Let's get more people to know that this is on. You can also share it across your social media feeds. All right. Next question, please. Wow. Why have I lost my sex drive? Okay, I can't say because I will need to talk to you. You need to speak to your physician to look at, because there are many reasons why somebody may lose their may have reduced libido, may have loss of libido. It could be medical problem, right? It could be a medical problem. There are some medical conditions that will lead to reduction of libido. And one of them is something we've just mentioned a few minutes ago, and that's diabetes. Diabetes can give rise to loss of libido. So medical problems, and the host of medical problems can give rise to that. Medications can do that. There are some medications that if you are on them, they can lead to a reduction in libido. And some of those medications are even things that are common. Alcohol, for instance. Alcohol, someone is, oh, yes, come again, yes, come again. He's always talking about alcohol. But alcohol can lead to a reduction in libido. So medical conditions, medications, and of course, your mood, your mental health, your emotional. Um, Several years ago, somebody came to meet me while I was still working in a clinical setting, and he said, "Doctor, I cannot perform again. I'm not performing. I'm not really performing." And before I jumped, I should have started with this because that's a more common reason. It's not the medical condition, it's not the medicines, it's the mental. That's a more common one. So I was speaking to him. Okay, what's happening to you? What is it? And then we started talking. How's your business? How's what? Business is really poor. Business is bad. I'm really, so of course it was a mental health issue. He was not happy. He was stressed. He was really stressed up about the pressures of life. And when you are stressed, of course, you may not have your sex drive where you'd like it to be. So the man could not. So I just counseled him, gave him some, vitamins and stuff to just help his appetite. And then by that time we saw him, Ducky. So it wasn't him. It was just his mental state that was the problem. So that can lead to reduction in libido. So it's for you to now find out. So I started with the more serious things. before I went to the more common thing, right? So we would want to um, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. We want to take care of those serious, if you have a medical serious, whether you're an elderly person, so it may not just be mental health issue, it may not be pressure. It may be that you have a medical condition, right? So we need to take that out of the way. It could be the drugs that you're using, so medicines that you're using. And of course, the more common thing is state of mind. May is asking, can I use vitamin C at the same time I'm using drugs for typhoid? I first need to ask May, who made that diagnosis of typhoid, right? Because we know that a lot of the typhoid diagnosis that we have around, somebody does a wild out test for you and then tells you you have that we saw it is more than the normal titer. If you take my blood right now and you go do a wild out test, it's going to be probably higher than normal. And I don't have typhoid because, and our diagnosis of typhoid is clinical, right? It's not, we can do a lab test, but the lab test would be to go and culture, right? To go and culture that, but we don't do that. We don't even need to do that to make a diagnosis of typhoid fever. So by the time we listen to the person's story, do some checks on the person, we'll be able to say, I think this is typhoid, and then we treat it. And the treatment for typhoid is antibiotics. And there is no reason why you should not be able to use vitamin C with antibiotics. There's no, at least at this time, we don't know of any reason why we shouldn't do that. So, with uh, and there's no reason why vitamin C will be prescribed with antibiotics unless you have another condition that your physician thinks that vitamin C will be useful, or maybe you're one of those people that likes to take vitamin C to say you're boosting your immunity and stuff like that. But there's no reason why you cannot use vitamin C uh, with antibiotics. But to the bone of your question, please would like to um, be sure that you have typhoid fever before you start antibiotics, so that we don't have resistance and just treat what is not there. Okay. Um, the last time good afternoon. He said the last time I asked the causes of excessive fatting, you didn't respond. OBJ, I'm sorry. I must have missed it. I would have responded. So the causes of excessive fatting, well, we'd have to look into your diet, right? We'd like to look at what you eat. There are food, some food types that lead to excessive flatulence, right? So and legumes, for instance, beans. So I saw one picture some time ago. Somebody said how to make an atomic bomb, and then it just put egg with beans with vegetable and lot of beans. I just put it there on a plate. I just put a caption. This is how to make. Okay, that could be a cause of excessive flatulence. For some people that are lactose intolerant, right, that they don't tolerate milk to varying degrees. So they don't. So if they take milk and they take milk, when they want to make the milk thick, they are whatever they're using it together with their tea or with their cereal or something, and then they make it. So if you have a little bit of lactose intolerance and you take a lot of milk, blessed are the people that stay around you. You will be blessing them with all kinds of perfume, right? All kinds of perfume. So that could be a reason for excessive flatulence. I hope I've answered your question. So it's for you to check. It's to check your diet, right? It's to check your diet and see. I know for some people it's constipation. So if you are not using the loo regularly, right? If you are not going to the loo regularly, you may have bloating and then excessive flatulence as a result of that. So please, anything that has change your bowel after it gets you down, to be sure that nothing is really wrong, please go see your physician, right? Thank you, pleasure. All right, is Pomo really on LD? why the government ban? People are vexed, you know. Okay, so in case you are wondering, there are rumors. I don't know whether it's been banned. There are rumors that government wants to prescribe pomo. If you don't know what pomo is cow-eyed, right? It's a delicacy in this side of 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 the continent of the world. People like to take their cow-eyed, um, cut it into, and there are different kinds, different kind of flavors. It can, you know, when it folds upon itself, it spirals on itself. Be thick. We have the thick type. We have the thin type. When we say, Doki, are you giving us a lecture on the different kind of pomo? So that's what pomo is. So it's just cow-eyed, right? And people eat it, put it in vegetables, eat it in different times, different ways. And for us, even while I was in medical school, that's about 20 years ago, there was the discussion. I can remember one of my teachers came to class and he said, we want to show that, because people say pomo has no nutrients, like it's basically useless collagen that is there. But this thing, yeah, has, has has some nutrients. I think the doctor is angry, so it's pomo that is problem Nigeria. Because a lot of people are going to go, and it's not a new thing. People have always been, for years, for decades. I can remember, for as long as I can remember, even the days of Buffalo Holo, there was a rumor that they wanted to ban pomo, and people went up in arms because government thinks that the hides can be used for leather works. It can be used more productively rather than just eating. But is pomo? I don't think pomo is unhealthy first, right? The question now is, that's my personal opinion, and of course, it's not just my personal. There's no scientific fact to show us that anything is unhealthy about the hide of eating the hide of cow. So um, it is well prepared, hygienically prepared, just the same way as any other food. The question now is that, is it nutritionally beneficial? Um, so that's where we start to ask what nutrients are in it, and that's what my teacher was saying to us those days. That it's not as collagen, that we have found some protein, and but the thing is, we know that one of the reasons why we eat is not just for nutrients, right? So that's why you're not just taking a protein shake and just putting everything inside one shake that is tasteless. So we also take food for satiety, right? We take meals also for satiety. So there's this feeling that you have enjoyed what you have eaten. So I think some people get that satisfaction, and bearing with the unhealthy. I'm speaking as a physician, I'm speaking as a health provider. I don't think there's an, but for the economics people, they think that maybe, just maybe, um, if the thing that we are, the amount of consumption to something that has not commensurate nutritional value, that if we channel that into production, maybe it will be better. So I won't hold forth for them. I won't defend them. But from the health perspective, um, I don't think pomo is unhealthy, right? It's okay. It is taken as part of a nutritional, healthy, wholesome meal. It could be helpful, right? Um, Please, someone said that snoring is a sign of a health problem. Which health problem is that? Yeah. Snoring can be. It's for us to first understand why people snore. People snore because their tongue, a part of their, part of their, the cavity of the airway, the passage of the airway is blocked. So if you block it, so an air is trying to force out as the person is breathing. So that happens when people sleep. And then but part of the problem which that person may be talking about is that snoring can lead to a dangerous condition that we call sleep apnea. So that the person is asleep and is not breathing. So there's a build up of dangerous gases, causes cardiovascular problems, especially people that are on the big side, right? So if somebody is snoring, person needs to go to medical help, and let's check whether their sleep apnea is not happening. And then to, of course, snoring can be a problem for the partner of someone that is sleeping with a snorer, so it can disrupt sleep and the problems of sleep. I think we have some videos that we have done about the importance of sleep. We've taken a look at it on Living Health TV Live, and we have a whole lot of other content about the importance of sleep. Sleep snoring can lead to sleep disturbances and the whole gamut of problems that can happen with sleep when sleep is disturbed. So snoring is something that should be taken a look at to be sure that it's not a big problem there. All right, next question. I think we can take like 2, 3 more questions. Time is going. All right. What is the cause of tooth problems during pregnancy? Tooth problems. That question is not clear to me. Tooth problems in what way? What is the person asking about? Tooth problems during pregnancy. Do people have tooth problems during pregnancy? I'm not aware of a direct link between having problem with your teeth dentition and pregnancy. We know that there are cravings, that people can have cravings during pregnancy, but tooth problems, you have a tooth problem, it's just coincidental, I think. I'm not aware of pregnancy causing any problem with somebody's dentition, right? So there's no direct correlation between pregnancy and dentition and dental problems. No. So if you have dental problems and it's occurring during pregnancy, so go see your dentist. Let your dentist take a look at it to help you solve it. Okay. Um, and our power just went off, but I believe that you can see me while they try to switch our source of power supply. Okay. But we can continue. We can continue. Next question, please. Next question. Okay. I think we can stop here for today. We'll probably continue again next week while they try to sort out this power issue. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week, Friday, at the same time, by the grace of God. It's been a pleasure having you. Please, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please remember to do so. Share this video. So thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us. Okay, God bless you. Have a beautiful weekend.